Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League from South Boston Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's penultimate round, live as it happens coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series Season 39. With this and one more race on the schedule, James Lowe has had his noodle measured, and the league's goldsmith and jewelers have begun the process of altering the Season 39 Outlaw crown to those dimensions. So we are forced to turn our attention to the less obvious, which brings us to focus on the Battle of the Hilberts. In this series, big brother Steve leads little brother Tom by a single point, a vice versa situation to the standings in the late model series that we're going to bring you a little bit later. On the track, they may not fly like Orville and Wilbur, and they're not biblical tension between them a la Cain and Abel. No, Steve and Tom are more like Vitaly and Vladimir, the Klitschko brothers, who simultaneously held heavyweight boxing championship belts but refused to fight each other. Few can relate to the excellence that is James Lowe, but everyone who has a sibling understands sibling rivalry. So pull the lever on the lazy boy and find drama where it lives and enjoy the simulated short track racing action that's about to come your way. A warm Dominion, Old Dominion, hello and welcome on this Saturday night, June 7th, 2025. It's Jeremy Gridlock Scott joining yours truly, Bill Soups on high from the VGM broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View. Replay Ryan Sanders for turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. All right, Jeremy, this and one more. Everybody knows Sobo. For those who don't, tell us about it.
It is such a legendary track, over 0.3 of a mile in length, and right there off the eastern coast, not too far away. And by the way, a little secret I found out last time I was in that area of the country, not too far from one of my favorite-ish road courses, the Virginia International Raceway. So this area known for its speed, which you wouldn't think so. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. A tight race course. We might see some of those chrome bumpers being used to pit just to kind of get you a little loose, but this is such a fun racetrack.
Gridlock talking about this being a fast track. Let's take a fast look at the points right now. Not a whole lot to talk about as James Lowe really has this things locked up. Good rounds, good season from John Wilson and Todd Liston. They're going to be best of the rest, but you can see how far back they are. 39 points out of the lead. James Lowe just crushing it right now. Want to go all the way down to the very bottom. There's Steve Hilbert. We talked about it in the opening. Just off the chart, sitting in 11th, is little brother Tom, just a point back. We're going to focus on then tonight. A couple other things to talk about, or a couple new guys coming in, getting the feel of what's going on here. One of them is a guy we know from the Maximum Velocity League. He's coming over, and that's James Lehman. He's always fast. He's dominant over there, and he's in his familiar number 50 here again tonight. And then another newcomer is Benny Ellison. We'll keep an eye on him. He's in the 72. What the series organizers like to do at this stage of the race, especially in the summertime where the field begins to thin out a little bit and the championship is locked up, gives us good opportunity to bring in some new guys to let them get a feel of the series before we go racing for real. Starting up on June 21st, we're going to be starting season number, my goodness, is it season number 40 in the whole? 40 seasons. Yikes. Beautiful night to go racing.
Sorry, I was presented with a little bit of a dinner early, so I figured I'd get a bite before we go racing. 40 seasons so far in the Bootleg Racing League. It's going to be interesting to see how the landmark season happens here in a couple of weeks. Schedule is out there as well. I just had it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, Soup.
Mostly cloudy here tonight. Not really matter unless you're a stargazer. The track temperature is 83 degrees. Winds at about 4 miles an hour. It's really perfect to go racing. Go ahead.
So yeah, June 21st, we'll kick things off at Martinsville Speedway, then Southern National Speedway. We'll take a week off for the 4th of July, then Five Flags, Langley, Oswego, Myrtle Beach Speedway, North Wilkesboro Speedway, Irwindale, Kevin Harvick Raceway. Take another week off for Labor Day.
So far, so good.
And we'll round out the season at South Boston and New Smyrna.
Hey, you went through it, and I didn't hear Oxford Plains. I'm a happy guy.
That's where the All-Star race is happening.
Oh my goodness. All right, I believe qualifying is over. Now you remember, there's really not qualifying, it's really practice. Remember, the grid is based on inverting the baker's dozen worth of drivers from the past race. They take the top 13, flip them around. If you finish 14th, you'll be starting well down the order. So let's go ahead and take a look how that works right now. And those newcomers are also going to be down the order as well, as they weren't here, obviously, last race to qualify. Nice, healthy field here tonight of 18 drivers. Brandon Myers is here, but he did not put in a practice time. He's out there on the grid, so I guess he's going to go ahead and race with us.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And Soup, the grid is set. Let's get ready for this race.
We talked about it in the opening. We talked about the Battle of the Hilberts. Well, right now, little brother Tom's going to have the advantage on big brother Steve. Tom will be starting on the pole position. He's flanked. Good to see him back. The Kingpin, Joe Segala.
In row number 2, you'll see Chris Hazlip alongside Steve Hilbert.
Oh, a lot of experience in row number 3. The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, inside a double deuce, Bruce Pearson.
And not too far behind them will be the 6 of Kurt Smith and the 36 of Jeffrey Harden as we have cars rolling.
3-time SK Modified champion Todd Lisson starting in 9th, flanked by Chris Davis.
Your points leader James Lowe will be alongside Bobby Hayes III and the number 13.
In the Baker's dozen spot, it's the man to watch. Let's see what he can do. He's really, really, really impressive in the Maximum Velocity League here on BGN on Monday nights. He is James Lehman. He'll be starting in 13th. Another big driver who can be fast, Jason Menda to his outside.
Great to see another fast driver back in the field. It's Todd Cousins in the 5 and Brennan Myers in the 11 with 1 to go till we go green.
We get to know Benny Ellison as he makes his series debut, starting in the 17th spot. He's flanked by a man notorious for coming from the back of the field. They call him the Shoe, Adam Shane, and we're ready to go.
Field on the back straight away. It's Tom Hilbert and Joe Segala on the front row. Hilbert to the inside, so he will have the call on when to start this race as the base car pulls off a turn number 4 here shortly right about now. Glad to have you with us here on the Virtual Grip Network for 100 laps of racing around South Boston Speedway. Green flag is out, and look who gets a huge jump already. It's Tom Hilbert as Chris Hazlip works his way into 2nd place, trying to keep Joe Segala behind him in 3rd.
So Hilbert out in front early. And we talked about the Battle of the Hilbert. Steve racing in 4th right now, trying to get underneath the Joe Segala Machine 81. That's not going to happen. So it's a Hilbert in 1st, a Hilbert in 4th in between them. That is going to be the Lipper, Chris Hazlip, with Segala making a move now for 3rd.
Battle for 5th also taking place between Pearson and Wilson. But here's that battle for 3rd place that Soup was just mentioning. Segala had the high line. Okay, we got a spinner in the back. And we are yellow as that is a 75 in the wall. John Wilson already having problems.
Not the race that the Canadian Goose was hoping for.
Oh, a little bumping from the double deuce. That was interesting to see. Let's see what happens off of turn 2. And yeah, just loses it coming off of 2. And that's all she wrote.
And unfortunately, here at South Boston, they do have that inside wall. And when that car got around, it takes a pretty good shot to the left front. Let's take another look at it here and see how much damage that 75 picked up. Ooh, we right on board. That was a hard hit. These cars are tough, but that one will hurt.
Well, Wilson at the back of the pack, and with these short cautions, let's see if we gotta get a feel for these cautions because we know that we run about 3 laps under yellow. Hilbert, your leader so far, so see if we get to go 1 to go at the line. 5 laps in.
Real quick, can we grab Brendan Myers real quick? I want to see what he was up to there.
Wow, lights are going off him.
Oh, are the lights off? Okay.
So we'll grab Brendan Myers after the next yellow flag, which it seems the way that these guys are dancing, it most likely will be shorter rather than later. Hazlip up 1 spot. He'll go to the outside of Hilbert, and they turn the lights back on because everybody's still kind of single file.
Yeah, we're going to go around one more time, I think. Your big movers so far. Take a look. Nobody up too far, up a couple spots each. Adam Shane up 2 from the very back. Now they start to double up.
Adam Shane up there, and let's see what happens here with Chris Hazlip leading Tom Hilbert, who will have the call on the restart. Let's see the 81 of Segala falling back just a little bit as the double deuce kind of bumping him. Pace car is off, and we're back underway here shortly. And look at a nice jump again from Tom Hilbert. He'll get that jump, and Hazlip going to fall right in line as your top four already single file. But the 22 trying to go around the inside of Steve Hilbert.
Boy, Hilbert had room to duck down in there, but he didn't want to force it, and he's in a battle right now on the outside trying to hang on to fourth position. Bruce Pearson is coming in. These caution flags are just what Tom Hilbert's hoping right now. Tom, he can be quick, but he cannot be quick and save his tires at the same time. So, and again, his big brother Steve just puts it in the wall right now. Remember, we talked about the Battle of the Hilbert. Steve came in with a 1-point lead. They continue to race hard. One more time, Hilbert puts in the wall. Double deuce Bruce Pearson is just killing him right now. Let's see if Steve can keep it off the wall this time as they come through four. They do. Getting loose right in front of him. Oh, my. That was the kingpin, Joe Segala. And I thought they were going to buckle up into him, and now we got a caution.
I'll tell you what, that's exactly what Steve Hilbert needs. 3 cars involved. It looks like it is the 5, the 45. I'm not sure who the third car is. So you got Todd Cousins, Jason Menda involved. Here's the replay, and it all starts off with, Davis spinning the 5 off of turn 4. You don't see that often.
Boy, it looks maybe like the tail end got loose on Davis, and so he came down the track a little bit. And came in, collected Cousins.
Oh, just poor Todd Cousins, just the pinball as he's getting hit every which way but straight.
There you see the white number 7. He comes down, turns Cousins into the wall.
Mm.
And then they pile in from there. And even a late shot there going by, so about 3 or 4 cars gathered up in that one. All right, now can we bring in Brendan Myers? Soup up in the booth here. You got a copy?
How's it going, Soup?
Well, how's it going with you? What's this new strategy of just not practicing? You just kind of keeping your stuff close to the vest?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm up a few spots here, so hopefully I can keep that going.
I was going to say, look.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. I was saying, yeah, it looks like it's working because you're up a few spots, but what's the flow of the race so far? We've got 2 cautions and 14 laps.
Yeah, it's tough to get really any rhythm going with that, but we still have a long ways to go, 85 laps, so lots of time for that to happen.
All right, good luck to you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Don't understand the no practice strategy. Maybe it's just confidence. Maybe he worries about stamina. Maybe he doesn't want to leave it all on the practice laps.
Practice? We talking about practice? It's still Hilbert and Hazlip on the front row, Segala and Steve Hilbert on row 2, Bruce Pearson and Kurt Smith, row 3. Green flag is out as Hilbert gets a good jump off of Hazlip once again. A little bit closer for Hazlip this time by, but so far so good as your top 3 have now reached out to a single file.
Tom Hilbert is 3 for 3 on those restarts. Big brother having trouble, stuck on the outside. He was struggling before the caution came out. He's struggling right now. He's lost positions to Segala, to Pearson, and now 36 of Jeffrey Harden gets underneath him. So does Bruce Pearson. All right, let's look at car number 50. It's been a while before we looked at him. He's the hot shoe. He's the sleeper. He's James Lehman, and he's now picked up 1 more spot. Here he comes, and he's on the inside line, feeling comfortable with still, 82 more laps of racing to go.
Yeah, that's a slick number 50 as we see the 36 going to the inside of the 81. So it's Harden around Segala. And look at this, Kurt Smith with a little bit of argy-bargy trying to keep Segala up high. He's going to make a position up, as well as our newcomer, James Lehman, trying to go to the inside. Here comes Chris Davis as well. So right now, the Kingpin, he's feeling like a pin knocked down several times over. He's lost 6 spots.
Indeed, Davis out there racing like a goldfish. Very short memory. Forgot everything that just happened that brought out that last yellow right now, and he continues to cycle around in 7th. Let's look at Lehman in the 50s, coming up on some traffic. That is Harden that got underneath the lipper. Smith is pinned in there, and now Lehman. Let's see how he feels coming into a new series. see if he wants to make a name for himself or just wants to sit back there and take what's given to him. Well, he's going to get inside. He gets the lipper for sure.
Well, lipper, a little bit of a wall slap right there coming off of turn number 4. So he's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots. But I got to say this has been a great restart for the 50 of Lehman. As right now, Chris Davis trying to go around the inside of Hazelip. He's not able to catch up there. Of course, look who's back there as well. Brennan Myers. He and Lehman both up 8 so far this race.
All right, I can hear the Hilbert family screaming at me right now. What's a guy got to do to get a little screen time? We hear you, Tom. Out in front with a lead of, I'm going to estimate there, 9 car lengths back to Bruce Pearson.
It's decent. I mean, we've seen Pearson move his way up through the field. He's got Harden behind him, so the Loose Lugs team running 2nd and 3rd so far. But Hilbert with a great showing so far. Yeah, he's got about 0.8 of a second up on 2nd place.
Oh, I think an interesting story is car number 6, veteran Bruce Pearson, trying to hold off James Lehman. Lehman, a very confident driver.
Wait, Pearson's in the 6th car? When did he jump cars?
Oh, let me correct. That's Kurt Smith. Sorry, Kurt Smith, veteran back there.
They sound the same, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, Lehman looking all nice and tidy there on that back bumper. He's going to look to the inside. What's interesting is, as we take a look at the front of Lehman's soup, he sees most of these drivers, they see a big gap and they move through. Lehman looks like he's trying to look for just a small gap to try and go around.
Yes, indeed, boy, the car gets a little bit loose on him there, heating up the tires a little bit. Is the 50. We'll stay on this battle. This is the best one on track right now. The guy's out in front. Now look at this. There's a Hornets that's going on now. Here comes the number 7 underneath. Gridlock, he's coming. As I say that, the outside line is rolling.
Oh, it's starting to roll here, and I'm surprised that it took this long for the outside line to roll. A little bit of contact there. We got one car spun off. I believe that's Davis and the double deuce involved. Oh, look who's upside down. It's Lehman.
My goodness, Pearson also slow. We're not sure what happened. We'll take a look at it. There's Smith. Lehman dives underneath. Smith gives him room. Can't tell yet from this angle.
Holy cow. So Pearson came off a 2 and just whacked the wall, caught airborne. I'm going to let you analyze this real quick.
Yeah, I noticed that Pearson was slow, and there he is. He gets loose, comes up, and then that whole group comes into him. Bruce has got to be feeling bad about that one.
I wonder, it almost looked like Bruce is having some sort of technical difficulty because that car just automatically juked to the right. I want to see that again. Gets loose, and then...
Boy, it does hook back.
It hooks back way quick.
Well, that'll thin the herd a little bit, and that is great news for Tom Hilbert. He's led 34 laps. We look at the pace car. The lights are on. Let's see if we can dial up Tom real quick. Little brother Tom Hilbert. Tom, it's Soup up here in the booth. You've been out in front for 34 laps. These cautions have got to be helping you, I'm thinking, yes? You like them or not?
Yeah, that makes it takes a little of the pressure off, but it's kind of fun being out here.
I hate to say it that James Lowe sitting there in row 2, so regardless, you're getting great restarts either way, so it's great to see that.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see what happens.
All right, they're doubling up. Go get them. All right, coming out of 4. Here you go, Gridlock.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, Lowe sitting there in row number 2, green flag out. Once again, Hilbert with a great restart as the camera bulbs flashing off. They'll be sending that over to the Hilbert family as right now Lowe trying to hold on to the top 5 spot, but look who's in 2nd place. It's Chris Davis as Brendan Myers tries to go around the inside of Hazlip. You also have the 87 of Liston down low. But I've got to say this, it looks like James Lowe running just a little loose.
You know, poor Tom Hilbert. You think that maybe the herd thins out a little bit, and then you look behind him, and all you see is big name after big name. Davis certainly knows how to win. Myers, we know, has been fast of late, and he's stalking those guys, so here they come.
Yeah, and this is not what Hilbert needed because you've got two of the quickest guys up there. One a full-time driver in Chris Davis, the other a part-timer in Brennan Myers. And Hilbert going to go high off too, but Davis not able to capitalize. Now he is starting to reel in your leader as Brennan Myers might want to get up high as well.
The battling behind might be the best thing that Hilbert can do. Tom, you're not clear. I'll spot for you. You're clear now. Get a good drive. Come on down. Close Davis off. You're not there. They come across the line. Davis with just a nose in there. My goodness, I think this is going to be the end of it pretty good. Tom starts to drift up. Now Davis with a quarter car length lead. Cialis bats up to the end. A little bump from the lipper on Davis. That's going to lose his momentum. Davis is credited with leading the lap. Let's see if they can finish the pass.
Yeah, Brennan Myers, he's the interested spectator here, but yeah, gotta give credit to Tom Hilbert as he's making that high line work for him in defense, but it is a quickly losing battle as now Davis cuts across the front nose like a surgeon on Tom Hilbert. Brennan Myers now with the nose up there in second place, but yeah, Hazlip now, he's basically a punching bag for James Lowe there in fourth.
Indeed, I misidentified the car that got into the back of Davis. It was indeed Myers. The lipper out there in a solid color car as well. Now on the outside, here comes the 99, your points leader, James Lowe. He's been back there. It's taken about half the race to get up here. We got ourselves a caution. Self-spin, I think? No. This is the Canadian Goose involved in this.
All right, let's watch this as once again he gets into another issue. Second one for him, and looks like he's just going to check up, and looks like a little bit of contact with he and Mendo once again. It seems like that this week those two are just fighting each other like magnets, and oh, the 13 of Bobby Hayes also involved. This is a second caution, Super. We've seen a car catch just some semblance of air.
Yep. And Hayes had nowhere to go on that one. So finally we get a caution with a new leader out in front. It is Chris Davis. We've already talked to Brendan Myers. Tom back into third there. James Lowe moving up into fourth. And the lipper, Chris Hazlip, in fifth.
Let's talk to Adam Shane, actually, up 11 spots in seventh position, getting his way out of trouble. Hey, Adam, it's Jeremy and Soup up in the booth. Yeah, say this. Seems like all the trouble that's happening around you, you're able to avoid it.
Yeah, it seems to be going quite my way tonight.
How much have you used up to get up to seventh? You got about half the lap race to go. You got some stuff for these guys up front?
I think I do tonight. I don't feel like I've been pushing it that hard, so I'm just kind of trying to take it easy right now because they seem to be all over the place in front of me.
And they are racing hard up there, so if tire wear means anything, you might be in good shape. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That's actually a good strategy because, yeah, everybody using up everybody else's. We're doubling up here for the restart with Chris Davis with the choice to take the win to take the restart. Brendan Myers be the outside. He's already gained 14 spots, Sue.
Indeed.
All right. Just about set to get going. I got to say, I got to like these shots that Ryan has for us today. Replay Ryan giving us some neat angles that we really haven't seen here. Might be just because of the way the racetrack is. Green flag is back out as Chris Davis gets out in front of Brendan Myers. And look who's going down low to the inside. It's Tom Hilbert alongside our points leader, Bud Lowe, able to muscle around him.
Lowe now into third, boy. Did it before the halfway mark. He comes from 11th position now up into a podium spot. Look at up front. Myers is not going to wait. He knows he has Lowe behind him. He's got to go now as he's working on the back of Davis. Davis has had to work so hard to get there. This great battle for the lead.
So provisionally, your pole setter for next week will be Bruce Pearson. Remember what happened last time Bruce took the pole?
I do not.
I think he led most of the race.
Wire to wire, okay.
Yeah, wire to wire. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting story to watch as we're watching off the front of Brennan Myers in the 11. The Ambrose-sponsored car trying to hold on to Chris Davis, and he's also trying to keep the points leader, James Lowe, behind him. So we'll see how fruitful that will be, but right now 1, 2, 3 in single file formation as we work in lap 53.
Two drivers that they thought would be interesting. Jason Menda, he got involved in a couple incidents, but he's in 6th. Hazlip in 7th. We talked to Shane. He was in 7th, lost a position. He likes to get around Hazlip if he could and start to race for real.
To still have Shane trying to go around the inside of Hazlip, as you said. And this is, you know, you don't want to use up your equipment too much, but still, Shane with up 11 spots, and I'm glad that Shane painted his number a little bit brighter so we could tell which driver's which.
Drivers who have called it an early night: Bobby Hayes, Kurt Smith, Bruce Pearson, Jeffrey Harden, James Lehman, Todd Cousins, the Chief, Steve Hilbert, and newcomer Benny Ellison. Boy, we've lost a lot of drivers.
Well, we've had a lot of mayhem here in these early laps. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, hopefully the drivers have gotten the yips out. As Menda up to 5th place. He's been involved in a couple of cautions, so great recovery drive out of the number 45. As now we see Shane going around the inside of the Canadian Goose, who also is able to keep that spot. Oh my, what the heck happened there? Did we have a hardwall slap from Hilbert? Yeah, so it sounds like he and his brother just can't help but find on that wall. It's almost like they're singing, "I can't help falling in love with you."
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
All right. I was thinking a little more in the Pink Floyd direction, but that's okay.
Well,
Look at this battle for second. Myers and Lowe going at it.
Yeah, it looks like Myers has a good run through the corners, but we'll see what Lowe has for him as both of those drivers. You take a look at your lap counters, and Lowe running just a little bit slower than Myers in some of those laps, but Davis, the past 3 laps, has run faster than those two. That's because they're so close and just battling with one another.
Davis coming over the comms saying, "Brendan Myers, don't worry about staying with me. Don't burn up your stuff. Just keep a nice low line and keep James Lowe behind you." I made all that up, but that's what he's thinking at least.
I'm sure that Lowe's trying telepathic therapy right now, letting Myers know, hey, I'm behind you, so just go ahead and use up what you want. But again, you know, the tire use up is not going to matter as much, doing as good as it will be for the late models later on tonight here in South Boston.
Well, if a long run happens and they heat them up, they do come back to you on a caution, but the way this is sitting right now, I got a hunch we could go the rest of the way under green. We only have 10 cars racing right now, and they're all pretty much single file. The only guys really battling for positions is Lowe working on the back of Myers, and those guys are both veterans. They know how to race close, race clean, and get it done without causing a caution.
I want to say this, lap 65, we can go back to that if we do end up having the yellow flag flown, and we'll play that back later for posterity's sake with Soup saying we might go the whole way. But I've got to say this, Chris Davis is loving that view behind him with Myers and Lowe. Holden basically battling with one another. We look out the back, and that's the view that Chris Davis is seeing with them two going around. Now, the question is, when does Davis start to deal with lap traffic? If I'm looking at our lap counter correctly, it's going to be just a little bit, as the first car he'll come across most likely will be that of the 25 of Tom Hilbert, because your cars that are 1 lap down or more who are still in the race, they're mixed in with the rest of the track.
And of course, attrition making it a little easier with the lap traffic situation.
Here's the battle for 5th place with Menda trying to hold off Adam Shane. Shane up 12 spots, trying to make it a baker's dozen around turn number 4. And cross the line, he's not going to do it because Menda just has that strong advantage coming off the high part of the corner. Oh, man, Shane's running him up the track.
Adam saying, "Come on, Jason, let me by here. Clearly I'm faster. Don't make me use up my stuff getting around you. I got visions of a podium here, so let me make this pass and go up and race with the other guys." And it happens. Oh, a little dipsy-doo, little hokey-doke there from Menda, but that's not going to happen. He tries the up and under. Shane gets him clear. Sets his sight now on Todd Liston. Liston having a very quiet run. Meanwhile, there's a battle up front for second. He's going to get him.
Yeah, James Lowe might have him, but Brendan Myers ain't going to make it any easier. Ooh, is that a little bump that I saw there? That Lowe trying to shove him off the circuit. And nonetheless, Myers trying to go down low once again. So he's going to have the advantage going to 3 and 4, but Lowe's going to shut the front door on him and open up that gap just little by little.
Well, you could hear the fans yelling, "Dive it in there, Brennan," but he does not. All right, so Lowe now up into second. Davis now would like to see this thing stay green for the rest of the way. James Lowe will have to run Davis down. The gap is just a tick over a second.
And as long as Davis keeps hitting his marks, I don't think it'll be too much of an ask that the lead will stay where it's at. But Lowe is slowly reeling in the 7 of Davis. So we'll see how many laps it takes for Lowe to get up to Davis. But as we know with these two, Davis is even tougher than Brennan Myers is to get around.
I'll remind my director here, we are working lap number 78, coming across lap number 79 with Davis. Say hello. Little inside humor going on there from the director. He's not happy about this. All right.
I thought I heard the teeth gritting with that response.
All right. Working around the back straight is Davis. He's been out in front for 39 laps. He's got himself about a half-second lead. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball a spin and grip the groove, make your move. You know what up? It's time to boogie. There it is right now. It's boogie time. Chris Davis. The gap continues to shrink there, Jeremy. It's under half a second now as Davis comes across, working lap number 83.
Was that a little bit of a slide I saw low? And by the way, that was so low energy, Soup. I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, it's late in the season. It's summertime. The weather's hot. And the director took all the steam out of it there for me.
I'm actually watching radar right now. It looks like the 4-letter R word's about ready to hit the Helmar Radio Ranch and Muscle Farm as Davis able to go around the 22 of Pearson. So Double Deuce decides to let everybody by, do the right thing, and Davis once again still holding steady. Got a couple other lap cars, so hopefully the lap cars will play nice with Davis, and if they don't, well then we're going to see Lowe catch up here shortly.
I don't think Lowe has anything for Davis right now. I think Davis is just minding the gap. Catching Davis, yeah, that's the easy part. Passing him. Which sets me up for my dad saying, I don't know, I'll try this one more time before we end the season. Passing the leaders like milking a rooster, the hard part starts after you catch it. And right now, James Lowe looking for some rooster milk. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything from Davis there. Davis is playing with him.
Yeah, so it looks like we're looking at the battle for third right now from Myers, Liston, and Shane. Shane, he's been up 13 spots, and if he passes Liston, he'll be up for the most spots gained in a sense of start with 14. So Shane, of course, we know how good Liston is, but he's a little high in some of the corners, so that's given Shane a chance to catch up. Myers, I should say, also with a little bit of the late race jitters as we see Liston going around the inside of Myers.
And of course, Shane back there complaining about how hard he had to work to get around Jason Menda. Liston now makes his way up. No, he doesn't. He loses momentum. Fighting on the outside is Myers.
Still side by side, Liston with the nose out front of Myers. Myers, though, he's able to make that high line work for him and stay in position. A little bit of contact there as Shane tries to go Steelers wheel and be stuck in the middle with them two. You don't want to go 3 wide, especially here as this track is just so tight. Liston dives down deep inside of Myers. 8 laps to go, so plenty of time to make something happen, but it's still go time. You want to make sure, Soup, that you have enough left for this battle.
The fastest car of those 3 is Adam Shane, but he has nowhere to put the car. Finally, Liston is going to clear Myers. Myers was a good drive off of 4. They continue to race side by side all this going on behind Davis. Davis able to hold off Lowe. Lowe not making up any time at all.
Yeah, Lowe is just stuck there. It's like he's got an anchor attached to him, kind of keeping him steady, but that's what he needs if he wants to wrap up this championship, as Liston and Myers battling for that third spot. Myers with a little bit of a wiggle through 1 and 2, but Liston not able to shake off the 11.
All right, I chastise drivers for making it 3 wide, but we have this and one more race to go. We are working lap number 96.
Ooh.
Shane, if you want to go 3 wide coming out of 4, I'm all for it, baby.
Yeah, nobody's going to say a word if you decide to go 3 wide. And yeah, look, Myers, interesting to note, his car is just not handling well coming off a 2 and 4. And that's giving Liston a little bit more of an edge. And now it's probably the best that Myers' car has been off the corners. Oh, almost 3 wide there.
I think now they've got rid of Myers. Now Shane can get to work on Liston here. Meanwhile, Davis with the 2-car length lead on Lowe.
Well, Double Deuce goes, makes a pass through the pits, lets the field go past him. As Shane, he's going to make things easy. That's now 15 spots he's gained since the grid. Wow, that's been fantastic. As we see the final lap, Chris Davis led from early on, and he is keeping the points leader behind him. James Lowe's going to try one last move, but it's going to be too little too late for the points leader. Checker flag is out. Chris Davis is your winner. James Lowe second. Who's going to be for third place as we see a battle at the line for third? Across the line, it's Adam Shane.
Adam Shane does what he does. He waits to the end, catches the guys, makes the pass, gets that done. I'd like to point out that Jason Menda was able to come up as Brendan Myers had some trouble there as he's fallen all the way down to the last car on the lead lap. Not sure what happened to the 11th here, but he's done. With that said, the racing is done also, but our broadcast is not. Take a short break, come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we do the shoelace on the gate, because we got another broadcast to do in just a little while. Who you watching? Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to South Boston Speedway and the Virtual Grip Network's penultimate round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's SK Modified Invitational Series. It's season 39. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. Well, he had one win earlier this season. He picks up his second win, and in doing so, holds off point leader James Lowe from getting his sixth. We're talking about Chris Davis. Lowe will have to settle for second. Both those drivers, Davis and Lowe, coming from 10th and 11th respectively. Another driver working their way through the field. What important is grid position here in the Bootleg Racing? Apparently not much at all, as Adam Shane goes from 18th to 3rd. Todd Liston, 9th to 4th behind him, and Jason Menda, 14th to 5th. Listen to these grid positions of the top 5. 10th, 11th, 18th, 9th, and 14th. You want an exciting series to watch? You want to see how short track racing should be done? Watch the Bootleg Racing League. John Wilson and Chris Hazlitt go 6th and 7th. Kingpin Joe Segala in 8th. Tom Hilbert, we paid a lot of attention to him tonight. He is the last driver on the lead lap. First car, one lap down. He was racing up front the whole time, ran into trouble on the very last lap. It is Brendan Myers.
And of course, you go from 11th on down. Kurt Smith, Bruce Pearson ended his race in the pits, and it's Bobby Hayes. Jeffrey Harden, Todd Cousins, James Lehman ended up on his lid for his first time here in the Bootleg Racing League. Steve Hilbert ended his race early, as well as Benny Ellison.
With that said, let's go ahead and talk to our race winner. Always fun to talk to him, Mr. Aggressive Chris Davis in the number 7. Chris picks up his second win of the season. Chris, I was feeling very confident with about 25 to go. Lowe was able to get around those guys. He had no cushion between you and him, but your car looked really smooth.
Confident that James was going to pass me, or that he wouldn't?
No, I had confidence in you. Confidence in you.
Yeah, thank you. I first want to say my apologies to Todd Cousins. I think that's who I got into around lap 10. It's so early in the race, I was really just trying to be patient. And Liston was on the outside, but to me, he was going so wide. I was almost forced to go 3 wide, which I did not want to do that early in the race. And I was really just trying to be cautious. And I was going to duck behind Todd. And when I stepped on the brakes going down the straightaway, the car pulled a little bit more to the left than I expected to. Because I was also trying to avoid Todd. But I just feel bad about that. So I never want to win after anything like that.
Yeah, it looked like the tail end maybe came around on you. That was my take, but you were getting on the brakes. It was messy for sure. All right, let's go down to the end there. Were you feeling as confident as I was? James Lowe's a scary guy to have chasing you down, but you look so smooth.
Well, thank you. I was comfortable but not confident. I can't see what James is doing. I have to believe that he was sliding his car a lot to try and catch me. I was trying to just really hit my marks and be consistent without getting the right rear angry at me. Because that way, if something happened where we had a restart, which would have been horrible, or if he had just caught me in general, that I felt like I might have more tire to be able to fight him off. But if he gets inside of you, or outside of you for that matter, James is tough. He's really tough, and I really enjoy racing with him.
Well, it was good. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you a little bit later here in the late models.
Well, thank you so much. I do always have to thank you guys up in the booth, and my teammate John Wilson. We do practice together a bit more in the dirt late models lately. Hopefully people will come out and try those out because as we're trying to get that off and running, plenty of help for people to get up to speed in that. So I think that'll put on a great show for you guys up there in the booth as well. So thanks, Sue.
Good deal. We'll see you down the road. Your race winner today, Chris Davis. All right, partner, who you got?
It's hard for me to come up with questions because I'm not the one who normally interviews our second place finisher, your points leader, James Lowe, but I've got to say, what a great drive up 9 spots, but just could not get to that final spot up top.
Yeah, just there was too much time wasted. Those outside restarts, I think I could have made some stuff happen, but it was just the circumstance. The cars in front were having a tough time, and it was kind of costing me there. So just had to use up too much trying to get up through there, and by the time I got to Chris, I tried to high lane just to see if it would work, and I got loose coming off and made the right rear real angry, and so I had to come back down and cool it off again, and I just could never build up the run to try to get back to him.
I'll make it quick because I know you want to head over to the late models to go practice, but that's interesting to note because it seemed like for some drivers, about 15 laps in, that's when the highlights started coming around, and you're saying that your right rear was just not happy up there.
Yeah, my car wasn't. On the restarts, it worked really well, but if I could have got some clean racing room up there, I could have made some stuff happen. But yeah, just I couldn't make it happen. Maybe I'm just not that good of a driver because I couldn't. Every time I tried it, I got loose.
I mean, you are the points leader, so we'll just go with that. James Law, congratulations on second place. We'll see you in a bit.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's interesting to note how some drivers, even with a fixed setup, could not make that high line work.
Could not get it going. I got a feeling if James Lowe can't get it going, it probably can't be gotten. All right, with that, we're going to head and bring in Adam Shane to finish third. Adam, you had yourself a podium car. I just didn't know if Shane and Myers were going to give you room to get there.
Yeah, I was sitting behind him. I was like, okay, one of y'all want to do something? But I really needed a caution. I really did. Because I felt like I was faster on the outside, and since I was sitting fourth, but it didn't come.
It did not come, indeed. I was calling for you. I hate it when drivers make it 3 wide, but there gets to a point, I was thinking the last lap, I was going to give you a pass there if you wanted to put it down there 3 wide, because they were racing 2 wide for a long time in front of you.
Yeah, they were. I thought about it. The one time they kind of got together, and I thought about splitting them, and I was like, nope, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, it was fun to watch you work through the field, and indeed, I think if a caution would have come out, because Davis and Lowe were smooth, but they weren't all that quick, so it would have been interesting. Good luck. You're going to race in the late models coming up in a minute?
Yes, sir. I'll see you then.
All right, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Adam Shea, notorious for working his way through the field. They call him the Shoe, and he gives it a great run from 18th to 3rd. With that said, our broadcast is just about done. We have another one coming up as we show you right there. Check out all those broadcasts. Find one you like and don't want to miss it. It's going to be really intriguing to see how those all play out as we work our way through our schedule. With that said, we'll take a short break, but we'll be back in just a while to give you the late bundles. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network.